Welcome to our demonstration on how to install and configure VMware's vCenter Operations Manager. The vCenter Operations Manager vApp is downloadable from the VMware website. To begin, we log into the vCenter server using the VMware vSphere web client. Before we can deploy vApps in the vCenter, we must set up an IP pool for the vApp to use. Select the networking inventory, select the network switch to configure, and select Manage. Select Network Protocol Profiles in order to configure a pool and associate it with a network. First, name the profile and select which network to use. Configure the networking with IPv4 and/or IPv6. In this example, we are not enabling the IP pool because we will assign manual IP addresses to the vCenter Operations Manager vApp. Enter the remaining network configurations and click Next to review the setup. Select Finish to complete. An IP pool has now been created, and it is associated with our network. Now that the IP pool is configured, let's learn how to deploy the OVF template. We can select the URL where the OVF is located, but because we have our OVF stored locally, we just browse and select it. This OVF consists of two VMs, the UI VM and the Analytics VM. Accept the agreement, name our OVF, select the configuration we wish to deploy. Next, we select our destination data store. VMware recommends thick provision eager zeroed for best performance, but we're selecting thin provision to save time and space for demo purposes. We select our network, which is a pool we configured earlier. Set our time zone and networking properties. Since here we're doing manual IP configuration, we must enter our IP for each VM. Then select Next, verify the information, and click Finish. We can see in the top right corner of the recent tasks that the deployment is underway. Once the import has completed, we locate our vApp and power it on. The VMs in this vApp have been configured to power on with specific ordering and timing. Once the vCenter Operations Manager vApp is fully powered on, log into the Operations Manager Administration Portal by going to the UI VM's IP address /admin. We log in with the default username of admin and default password of admin. Once here, we connect vCenter Operations Manager to the vCenter server. Ensure the Analytics VM address is accurate. Next, change the default admin and root account passwords. The default admin password is admin, and the default root password is VMware. Enter the vCenter information and click Next. Once the registration of vCenter has finished, we will see our status screens showing successful registration with vCenter. Configure the vCenter Operations Manager license in the vSphere web client. Go to the licensing section, click the plus sign to add a key. We can see that we have the vCenter Operations Manager key entered. If a key is not assigned to the vCenter Operations Management Suite, we can go to the Product section and click on vCenter Operations Management Suite, and then apply the license key here as well. Next, we will configure SNMP and SMTP in the vCenter Operations Manager Admin Web Portal. If we wish to connect out to an SMTP server to enable reporting, we can do that by selecting the Enable Report email service and entering our server name address and email. Likewise, we can enable the SNMP server. We enter our host name and the port and community string. Click Update to save. The vCenter Operations Manager is now fully installed and configured. Now let's test the installation by going to the vCenter Operations Manager URL and logging in with our admin username and password. And this is our vCenter Operations Manager portal as the administrator. We can browse our objects. Notice that we are fully connected to the vCenter server. Analytics need to collect over time, And these numbers will change and more data will be pulled in as it collects information on running VMs and running objects in our vCenter servers. This concludes our demonstration of the installation and configuration of VMware's vCenter Operations Manager.